Hey, welcome back to Black, Female and 50, the Power Trifecta. Again this month. I am your host, Janice Sutherland, and I'm a corporate CEO turned career strategist for Black women over the age of 40, helping them to realign, recreate, and celebrate their career or lifestyle while staying true to their personal, professional priorities and values. So thank you for joining me. And last month, we spoke about the challenges that women over 50 face in their careers, or especially Black women, how the world views this demographic and how organizations can support and get the most out of them. This month, we're going to get a little more personal. So let me just tell you a fact. How a woman's appearance, it's a fact, I say, a woman's appearance does affect her career. Now, managing appearance is a fine line for professional women to walk. There's both a bonus and a penalty for being attractive in the workplace. Some research suggests that women take more care in their appearance. They can earn higher incomes. Other studies instead posit that attractive women can be seen as less capable or less qualified for their positions. But there's lots of research around women's weight gain, resulting in decrease in both income level and prestige. Women wearing more makeup are judged to be more competent than those wearing less makeup. Some women spend loads and loads of money just trying to look younger and better, specifically because they believe it affects their career advancement. The perception is definitely different for women at different stages of their career. Women who are perceived as more attractive may be rewarded earlier on in their careers, but when they cross into the C-suite, most likely because we're a little bit older, other factors do come into play. Now, as I've turned 50 and more, few more years, I've gone through the menopause. I've experienced the obvious changes in my appearance, the grey hair, the weight gain, the lines in my face, and I am absolutely totally cognizant of that. It's my decision to no longer colour my hair. The minimalist makeup has always been my thing. But there's, dare I say, an acceptable code on how women over 50 or mature women should look or what we should wear. So we're not trying too hard to appear younger than we are. But who the heck sets those rules? Should we actually be following them? What impact does it play on our careers? And my guest today, I'm delighted to have with me today, is Renee Lindo. She's also a woman over 50. She's had a very successful corporate career before establishing her own business, Let's Get Dressed Now, where she guides professional women on their style journey so that they can show up as the best versions as themselves. So before we get into it, just remind the audience who's ever listening, watching, post your questions, your comments. We're here to answer them. We're here to dispel the myths. We're just here to kind of rock that backwards on what people think we should wear, what's said we should wear when we get over 50. So Renee, my first question as a woman who is in this field, in this realm, how important a role does appearance play on a woman's career when she's over 50?
But just in general, and thank you so much for having me, Janice. It's great to be here and to have this conversation. Just in general, for any person, any woman, we are judged by appearances, first impressions. People judge us. It's just, people say they don't want to think that that they judge people just by looking, but it is a fact, just a part of being human. You see someone and you make assumptions, right? And what the data tells us is that when for first impressions, they're judging four things. They're thinking, are you trustworthy? Are you competent? Are you confident? And do I like you? Right? So those are four big considerations that people are making of us in a split second. So you really want that first impression to be what you want, because it's much harder to change someone's first impression of you. I think the data says you need another, is it like 20 more interactions before a first impression changes. So and over 50, it's no different. People are going to judge you by just your appearance, and they may not be right. So when I work with clients, it's really important that we align your image with your brand and what you stand for. And what I mean by that is, your clothes and how you show up really is your biggest communication tool. It is how you say who you are. It is how people meet you. It's what you're saying. And it is also something you're telling yourself, right?
Yeah.
Because it is how you communicate to yourself. So when we were, well, we still are, but in the early days of the pandemic, when people weren't getting dressed and really felt yucky around the house, it really changes how we feel about ourselves. And so the message, taking the time to look good, to feel good, to put yourself together really is a part of self-care. And it's a message to me. I'm important enough to take the time to take care of myself. And it's also a message to the outside. So I would say it is very important because we know it happens. It happens all the time.
And I'm glad you talked about the pandemic there, because we spent 2 years at home, and I'll be honest, stretchy waistbands probably became my best friend, so returning back to work, and I'll be honest, there's a little bit of weight gain. I've definitely seen that. It has been harder to shift,
Yes.
especially as I've got older. We're going back to the office.
Yes.
How do we now accommodate that change of returning to the office? Because what we would have worn probably 2 years ago, that was part of our brand.
Yes.
It's probably changed.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's such a big question, because that's what I'm helping clients with now. What we wore pre-pandemic, so maybe 3 years ago, so 2 years ago and before, is not necessarily how we want to show up now, right? It's not necessarily. What we have learned is throughout that pandemic, a lot of people took time to think and really think about, how do I want to show up? What kind of work do I want to do? How do I want to feel in my clothes? How do I want to just move through this world? And so as we go back to the office, it's important to, and then also employers and industries really have gotten more casual, right? In their expectations. They know that we've been home for 2 years, and so they're not going to. Most workplaces really have relaxed some of their dress codes. So where you used to wear maybe a structured fitted blazer, it's now looser. It's maybe a sweater. It has a knit, lots of stretch. That's the big thing with our return to office attire is stretch. Stretch is our friend. So stretch and comfort, because the thing is, we want to be comfortable, right? We know that we can be comfortable and do great work. So we want to be comfortable. We still want to maintain that comfort. We're not giving up that comfort, but also we need to look professional, right? Whatever that is, professional in terms of what your employer kind of requires, or just professional deportment in how you show up, right? You're going to work, right? You're not hanging out at home. So there really should be some type of expectation, and you can be polished and comfortable, and it is achievable. It's not sweatpants or a suit. There's so much in between, and retailers really have done a good job now of creating work wear, or they're calling it, is it work leisure? I think that's a newest term, work leisure, that has stretch, but they're more structured. It moves with the body, and also the other thing with work with attire in general, clothing in general, instead of we're moving away from work clothes, play clothes, right? We're moving into where we're going to invest in pieces that can take us throughout our lifestyle. So we're going to we're seeing pants that maybe they're great for work because they have stretch, so you can wear with pumps. And then also those same pants, when you change your footwear and put on some white sneaks, they're great for the weekend as well. So we're seeing that transition.
And I guess it's good it's going that way. But one of the things that when I looked at this topic and it was playing in the back of my mind, as I was growing up, I remember being told or overhearing comments of what a woman of a certain age should wear. Not just outside of professionalism. And even when I did the opener, I was looking at quotes where it's saying that women over 50 shouldn't wear dresses, skirts above their knees, even if they've got great legs. You shouldn't have too much cleavage, and all these kind of unwritten rules. It's unwritten. It's not necessarily unspoken, because people do have a lot to say. Who does she think she is? She's trying to act young. We have an English term. She's mutton dressed as lamb. That kind of thing. So, and all this can actually, if you weren't very confident in what you were wearing before, or, you know, to make that move now, you know, to return back to work in the office, you know, how do you balance that? What's your view on whether we're women over 50 trying to dress young? And I'm doing that in air quotes
Right.
deliberately.
So I don't believe that style has age, right? At all. I am 50. I just turned 50 in February. And I am going to rock and wear clothing that I love, that looks great on my body, that I'm comfortable in, that I still feel stylish. And I am going to rock the heck out of it because I'm feeling good. Now, the people who say over 50, I don't even know why not. Why can't I wear that short skirt if I wanted to? Now, it really comes down to comfort, right? If that short skirt is really just under your butt, and when you every time you sneeze, you have to be concerned, or you stretch, you're concerned that you're exposing yourself, then that's a little bit different. It's more about comfort, but clearly not about over 50. And maybe, you know, growing up, the people who were saying that, they at 50, they looked and they behaved old. I find that 50-year-old women now are vibrant, they are energetic, they are living life, they're taking care of themselves, they're exercising. And so we're more youthful, I think, than maybe generations past what 50 was. I remember when I was young, when you heard somebody was 50, that was a old person, quote unquote. But no, 50
Yeah.
is quite vibrant and youthful. So yeah, I don't believe in this age thing. I believe that you wear what works well for your body shape. That's something that's really important that I don't think people really think about enough. Being able to dress your body shape is really, really a key piece in feeling confident, in investing in clothing that works for your shape, that's going to accentuate your assets and make you look and feel good. So, you know, things that you're comfortable in, because it's all about comfort. When you're comfortable, not necessarily in sweats, but when you're comfortable in whatever you're wearing, your confidence shines, right? You show up more confidently. You're able to stand in your power because this is who you are authentically.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Don't forget, you can post your comments or questions for Renee or for myself on, you know, about this whole topic about dressing when you're over 50. Now, one of the things you said there about, you know, being comfortable, having the you know, the wearing what makes you feel comfortable and stuff like that. What are who makes the rules about what to wear past 50? You know, where do you think this came from?
I have no idea. I don't know where it came from. I don't know where it came from. And I don't, and throughout my career, I don't believe in style rules anyway, right? And I also think that women, as we age, you know, throughout life, I think women are more confident, or at least the women who I've dealt with, women in my circle, the clients who I'm working with, they tend to be a little bit more self-assured in, you know, kind of what they want to wear, what they are not comfortable wearing. Sometimes I even have to try to push them a little outside of their comfort zone just to maybe live a little and try something new. But I find at this stage in our lives, I think we're a little bit more, we're confident. We know what we did that we do not necessarily want to repeat. You know, one of the quotes you had at the beginning, which is so true. You know, at this stage, when I'm 50 now, I don't necessarily want to look like I'm 20. Right? I did that. I looked great at 20. 20 was fine. It was great. But I'm 50 now. I want to look the best that I can at 50. You know, so, and you know, it's just like in life, we go through different stages of life, different seasons, different stages. And then it's important that we allow our style to also evolve with the woman that we are, to the woman that we're evolving to, right? It's no use to say, oh, I used to be this, I used to do that, I used to be able to wear this. So great. When you wore it, you looked fantastic. And you were killing the game when you were 30 wearing this type of outfit. And it's okay to say, you know, that was 30, I did that, or 20. Now I'm 50 and I choose not to wear that anymore. But this is what I'm comfortable wearing, and this is what I'm going to wear. So I think it's important that we really honor the different seasons of our life and dress accordingly to where we're comfortable.
Love that. Love that. One of the things we talked about, you mentioned, was different seasons. And 50, plus 40s, going to 50s, we're facing menopause.
Yeah.
Fact of life. It's a season. We're changing and stuff like that. Yeah. And I also think maybe there are physical changes to our body, apart from the weight gain. Parts of our body no longer as perky as they used to be, and stuff like that. So how can women dress to accommodate the physical impact of menopause at work, especially going back into the office now? Because at home you probably could have, you could have done what you need to do, stripped off and things like that. So how do they now accommodate that?
Well, with menopause, I'm thinking, all right, so the hot flashes or you're overheating, right? So think about dressing in layers. Also think about wearing natural fabrics, more linens, more cottons, more silks, fabrics that breathe, so that you're not, when you're wearing polyester, it can really be a sweat box, especially, if you're feeling hot. So think about layers. Maybe you'll start up, maybe if you have to wear a blazer, you prefer to wear a blazer, but then what you're wearing is a sleeveless underneath, right? So that if you're in the office, unless you have the AC blasting, which I know happens a lot, you can take the jacket off if need be, or you're outside, you can always take your jacket off. You're wearing a dress, maybe it's a sleeveless dress, but you have a jacket over it. So I always think about layers. And the other thing is weight gain, especially if you never had a stomach growing up. A part of menopause is we get weight gain in the stomach area, just kind of deposits. And so that's another thing that I cover in learning to dress your body shapes. If anybody is interested, I have a free dressing your body shape guide. You can grab that from my profile, my LinkedIn profile. But some key things, if you're conscious of a tummy, then the whole idea is you don't want to put anything there that's going to draw attention. So you don't wear a belt across the widest part of your body. If you want to wear a belt, or if the dress has a belt, it's either an empire waist, so above the tummy area, or it's a drop waist, so that you're not drawing attention there. You also want, if it's a tummy that you're trying to conceal, think about having all of the attention be above or below the tummy. So pieces that have maybe your shoulders out, or there's more detail up at the neckline, or if it's a dress or a skirt that has detail at the hem, right? So something to keep the eye away from the tummy. And then also just, something a style that's elongating. So maybe a jacket, blazer, kimono that's long and lean, right? Long, and so it kind of straightens out and elongates that midsection. Yeah. Wrap dresses are fabulous. I love a wrap dress because I find you can, it works for almost every body shape. So wrap dresses are great as well. So these are things that you can do to trick the eye so that you can feel comfortable, so you're not drawing it. That's the thing with dressing your shape. It's about knowing not to draw attention to areas that you don't necessarily want the attention to be. It's taking the eye away from that area.
Yeah. Fabulous. Now, you've probably heard this before, but I'm a woman that has a wardrobe, has a very expansive wardrobe with nothing to wear.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, women going back to work, maybe women on a budget. There's some great pieces and there's some expensive pieces I've probably spent a lot of money on. But for women on a budget or going back, how do they kind of make what they've got work for them? Because and also the other thing for me, I suppose, I'm on an island. It's not that it's difficult for me to go out and try stuff out in a store, or from overseas and stuff, things I see online. So how can we make what we've already got or on a budget work for us? Where should we start?
Sure. So there are a few steps, a few things that I usually suggest. The first thing I suggest is as we're coming out of the pandemic, well, as we're here now, 2 years later, let me say that you really take some time and think about you. Think about how you want to show up. Get kind of clear. Think about, how you want to move through the world. What is now your vibe? What clothing do you like to wear, right? So we want to get clear on that. Spend some time doing that if you want to, get some inspiration on Pinterest and create a board. So you just get clear on what the image that you want to project. Then you get in your closet, and I'm going to, you have a full closet, nothing to wear, I always talk about shopping your closet first. But what I'm going to encourage you to do is to do a closet edit, right? Look at your inspiration, the pictures that you have taken out, or the celebrities you like, or the person's style who inspires you. Look at their style, have it, and then you're going to compare your inspiration to your closet. How near or far are those two? And then you go through your closet and you kind of take out pieces that, this is no longer me. This doesn't fit anymore. And it has to fit you right now. Not when you lose the 10 pounds, because you've been trying to lose 10 pounds for years, right? So want it to fit right now. Yes, you spent money on it, but if it doesn't serve you now, then what's the point? It's just taking up space. And your closet is prime real estate. So go through your closet, get rid of stuff that really don't serve your lifestyle now. They don't resonate with the woman you are. It doesn't resonate with your goals and how you want to move through the world. And then with what you have left, play around and try things on, put things together that maybe they hadn't worn together before. And when you've cleared out, create a shopping list, a list of things that you're going to need or gaps that are there. But I would suggest, we say shopping is difficult, but at least you have a more deliberate and intentional list of what's missing. So that when you are shopping, then you know exactly what you need. Right. But so that's what I would suggest. And I did a whole series on Spring into Spring with Style. And every day we talked about topics. And this is one of the topics that I talked about, how to get clear on your style. What's, what to look for, what to get rid of. So it's on Instagram. If anybody has on Instagram as well, under my handle, Let's Get Dressed Now. But I think that's really a good starting point, is your closet. Get it, it's full. It's full of stuff. You keep buying pieces that you like. Okay, I love this. But we're forgetting, okay, I love it, but what do I already have that this piece is going to work with? Many times we're buying it in isolation. We just see a top and we like the top, or we see a pant, we like the pant. But when we take it home, there's nothing to work with it. And so that continues. And then you end up with a closet of random pieces and not a closet of outfits. And that's really what I try to help clients to do, is to build a closet of outfits so that when we're getting ready, it's much easier to put something together and get out the door, and to stay on budget. Because you mentioned budget. That's really important.
Yeah, budget. Yeah, definitely. So let me just look at a couple of quick comments. We've got a great question here from Sandra. She says, she's commenting about wearing what makes comfortable. Wearing what you feel comfortable in may not translate to the image that you want to project for your business, which is actually a great comment. So how does what you wear and the perception of you at work, what's the impact of that?
It's definitely related, right? Your image and your image and how you show up is a packaging of your personal brand. So when you feel comfortable wearing, so comfortable doesn't necessarily mean sweats. Comfortable could be that I'm wearing this blazer, but I'm comfortable wearing my blazer because it's not restricted. I feel great in it. So if she can maybe break that be more specific with that question. But for sure, how you are showing up in business, whether I don't know if you're employed or an entrepreneur, really is the packaging of your personal brand. So people will judge you. Would judge you by what they see. Now, what I would suggest is, if you're in a corporation or organization where you have to dress a certain way and that's completely opposite to what you're comfortable for, then maybe you want to think about, is that a place that I really am going to thrive and want to be in? Think about that. Because if you have to wear this clothing that every day it's like, oh, I feel so uncomfortable, then you're not going to, your creative juices don't flow. You are not, you're just not your optimal self then, because you're feeling confined. So I'd think about that. If you have to dress that is so outside of what you're comfortable wearing, then it may not be a great fit for you. You have to think about that.
That's true. It's true. There's another comment just come up here. Let me quick look, share this. So it says, as an image consultant, the topic of professional dressing as we return to the office is important and relevant, since the way we look is the first level of communication, which what you said at the top was seen before we're heard. The message we send through our appearance creates our first impression. We must think, what message about ourselves do we want to project? Now, I think there's kind of like a clash, I think, because like you said, it's what's expected in the office compared to
But it's balance, right?
Yeah,
It has to be, it's a balance. It really is a balance. Sure, you may be more, yeah, I'm comfortable in my sweats and what have you, but when I'm at work, that's not the image that I want to project either. That's relaxed. I can be very productive in my blazer, in my what have you. But you have to remember that the image that we're projecting is what people see, right? And it tells a story about who we are. Before you speak, so you don't, many times you don't even have the opportunity to, they won't know how great, what a great employee you are, how fantastic you are, you always meet deadlines, you're great, you're a killer deck creator. They won't know that because you may not even get the opportunity to speak about your skill set because they've already counted you out just by looking. They may say, oh yeah, she, you know what I mean, she's not. And I'm not saying that that's right. No, I'm not saying that, but it happens. So since we know the game, so let's ensure that we stack the deck in our favor. And it just means showing up in the, how you want people to see you.
But just thinking on that, I'm thinking, because I'm talking about, women over 50, women 50 and over. And I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, when I was coming up through my corporate world, I was of the Crystal Carrington, the Dynasty, the Dallas, the power suits, the all that. And I think sometimes I think there's still an impression of what professional looks like.
Yeah.
To what we were growing up when we were growing up and coming up to what professional looks like now.
Yeah.
So what would you say are probably the differences, and what's professional now that we can be comfortable with, that we still feel that we're being professional, if that makes sense?
Yeah. And it's difficult to have just one answer because it varies by industry. Some industries are much more casual. If you think about maybe marketing or social media, they're going to have a different professional look versus somebody who works in banking or law or accounting, because they're a more formal. Hello? Are you there? Looks like you're stuck. Hello? Janice, you hearing me? Because they're in a much more formal in industry. So it really varies it really changes by industry. Hello? Can you hear me? See me? Can you hear me? It shows that I'm still on, but I don't see Janice. But if you can hear me, if somebody can just put in the comments. Okay, perfect. So you can see me. Can you see? Yes, I can see the comments. So if anybody has any questions, I can take the questions until Janice comes back. Yes, I can see you. Let me scroll through the questions. You love the idea of clearing out your closet. Yes, absolutely. Yes, a wardrobe and style vision board really is a great starting point, especially if you're confused and you're not really sure where to begin. That really helps you to clear your mind and to get clear. The other point is, I would suggest, if you're going to create a board, not to put like 100 pictures on there. That's overwhelming, and it comes back to, okay, what do I do? So limit to maybe about 30, and then think about why you like a certain item.
I'm back.
Great to have you. Thanks for joining us.
I'm not even sure what happened. I had an internet, the challenges of living. Yeah, never mind. I'm here. So what did I miss? What did I miss?
Nothing really. I was wondering if they could see me, and I was going through the comments and trying to answer and add some more context.
Excellent,
So,
excellent. So
yes.
Thank you for holding it. Thank you for holding it down all the way down for me. So probably comes to my last couple of questions. Any more questions in the comments? Let me just look, see if I had any more questions that were burning. Correlation. Yeah, good question. Should women disguise their age?
Oh my gosh. My answer is no. I'm not disguising. First of all, so there are a few things, right? When I think about that, we want to be authentic. We want to be ourselves.
Yeah.
So how are we going to disguise our age? That is where I think we're going to have more problems, because we're going to, whatever you say, look like a mutton in a lamb. However,
mutton dressed as lamb.
In Jamaica, we say, like, mother young gal, like you're dressing young, but you're really old.
Yeah.
It shows. So no, so as I say, that's where I think you're going to have problems, because you're trying to look like something or someone you're not. The beauty of style and your personal style and the confidence that I think we have gained or gaining as we age is that we want to show up as the best versions of ourselves, right? I want to look like the best woman, the best Renee that I can look like at 50. Not the best Renee at 20 or 30, because that's not who I am now. So disguising your age, I don't know how you're going to what does that mean? Does that mean wearing short skirts? Does that mean, what does disguise your age mean? Right? I don't know how you would do it. I mean, in the workplace, act juvenile. What does disguise your age mean?
Yeah.
Because I think the point is at 50 we have a lot to share. We have confidence, we have tons of experience, we come with a certain level of maturity and know-how, all of that, so much stuff, tons of experience that young women just starting out, they just don't have, right? So there are really some strong points that we have that we're able to share and market and leverage. And our image should just be a packaging for all of that. Tell me what you mean by this, because maybe I don't get it.
I think it's to me almost like coloring your hair and stuff like that is still disguising.
Okay.
Because one of the things I stopped doing was, probably pre-pandemic, was coloring my hair, because I got to the point where I'm thinking, do you know what? A woman of my caliber, of my experience and knowledge, who am I trying to fool by thinking that every single hair in my head is grey? Is black.
Yes.
Come on, let's be real about this. You can't expect me to have all that level of experience to bring to your business without having the maturity that goes with it.
That's my point.
So I decided to, let me just embrace, because it was, do you know what? It was actually hard work.
Yeah.
It was hard work.
And I went the other way. I'm like, okay, I've always wanted to be blonde. So I'm 50. If I don't try it now, when am I going to try it? So and again, is powerful. We have the option to decide, right? Which I really think is a critical point. I don't think that we need to buy into all the things that are new, current. For sure, as a stylist and an image, somebody who is focused on how we show up, I'm going to tell you about what's current. I'm going to tell you about what is on trend, not really on trend, but what's current, what is modern. Because let me tell you, if your dress is dated, people assume your skill set is also dated, right? Because again, we come back to first impressions. So I tell clients, it's not about being trendy. It's about understanding what is current, what is happening, and then you deciding if that's something that you want to participate in. If you don't like this trend or this what's happening, then you don't choose it, or you make it your own, right?
Yeah.
So it's powerful to be able to, you have the choice and you decide how you want to show up, which I really think is important.
Excellent. So a couple of quick questions that just popped up. The first one from Kathleen says, how can you determine the colors that are most appropriate for you to dress in, as well as styles?
Well, you can work with me, but other than pardon?
I said colors. Another question for colors came up again. So yes.
So a few things when you're thinking of what colors to wear. A few kind of rules I use when you put it comes to undertones, right? Some people have cool undertones, people have warm undertones, people have neutral undertones. So if you have warm undertones, usually warm colors look great on you. And how you decide that? Just put the clothing right up against your face, and you can right away see whether it's a great color for you or not. What happens is if it's not a good color, then it shows up all the lines in your face. It shows up on the dark circles. Your skin will look blotchy. You look jaundiced, and you can look tired. If it's a great color for you, then the whites of your eyes will be brighter. Your skin looks clearer. You look alive. It brightens you, and you can tell sometimes when you put the color against your chin or across your chest, right away, for some people, you can see the color just wash out of their skin. So I encourage you to try that. Just put it right up to your face and see what it does to your coloring. And the color shouldn't wear you either. It should just be a nice complement to your complexion.
Now, I couldn't resist this question because this question. Let me show the question. Would you please address leg wear? Many ladies no longer wear pantyhose or nylons under their professional clothing. Are nylons out of style or antiquated?
I think so.
What a great question. Personally, I always hated them, even as a child.
Yeah,
just
I know in the Caribbean, when I think about Jamaica, because that's where I'm most familiar. Maybe like if you work in the bank, some of those places, there's the parts of the uniform you wear stockings or hosiery. But other than that, like no, I haven't worn stockings in years. I live in Toronto, so the stockings that I wear tights just for warmth, not as a part of dress. I mean, of course, unless it's an evening function and you have on, pumps. It's a dress function. You have on pumps and it's a shorter dress and it's really not black tie but a formal type. You may want to wear some stockings, but it's been years.
Same here. And my love-hate relationship started when I was very young, because in the UK, they didn't make nylon stockings tight. We called them tights. We called them tights. They didn't make them to accommodate black skin.
Oh, yes.
So we always had this one called American tan, which was the most awful color. The closest, but you always looked like your skin was ashy
yes
because you wore them, and I just couldn't think of wearing them out here. I just really couldn't think of wearing them in the heat. I just couldn't. No. So we're going to start wrapping up. There's no more questions from the audience. So Renee, probably a couple of tips for us returning back to work as to how we can make sure we're right. We look good going back to work.
Yeah.
As a woman over 50.
Yeah, woman over 50. So, one thing I would say is remember that you are the star of your show. Okay? Your clothes, they are auditioning for a role. Okay, so don't beat yourselves up when they don't fit or they don't look great. Remember, we all come in different shapes and sizes. So sometimes you have to get your clothes tailored. But if the clothing doesn't fit or the size doesn't fit, just say, oh, you didn't make the cut. right? So it just changes your mindset when you, instead of beating yourself up that nothing fits, just say, hey, they didn't work for me, right? And you just keep looking. So you're the star of the show, and the clothes are just auditioning for a role in your movie. Okay. And the other thing is, I'd encourage you to really spend some time in your closet. Everything starts and ends in your closet. That's how you start your day. That is, and then if you're rushed, you can't find anything to wear, and you don't feel like you look good, and nothing fits, you can't put it off. It's stressful. It's a stressful situation. You're late to get to, whether to go to work or even to start your day. So invest the time in creating a closet that works for you. Get rid of stuff that no longer serves you, and think about your lifestyle, right? Don't keep the, a quick story for me. I had all my corporate suits in my closet for 2 years because, I spent money on them. They were expensive and I may wear them. But listen, you spent money on them, but if you're not going to wear them, why? They're taking up space. So I took them out, and I'm like, even if I do go back into corporate, or I'm delivering to a corporate client, I don't want to wear those suits, because those suits now are 4 or 5 years old. I'm going to want something new and something different and something fresh. So I got rid of them, and then you gift it or donate to someone who really is going to enjoy it, who needs it. And it's a much better situation for you. So start in your closet. That's one of the signature services that I offer, your Level Up Your Style, where we get really clear on your style. We understand what your style goals are, how you want to look. We do a closet edit. So virtually have clients in Grenada, Jamaica, Canada, UK, US, so all over. So I'm able to work with clients wherever you are. We get in your closet, you try on, you get rid of stuff that no longer works. I create a shopping list. I shop virtually for you. You have a virtual closet that we put things in. And then I create a lookbook. So that, those are, I'd really, that's really that's the process. And I really would, as a parting point, your closet is really an important part to get clear.
Fabulous. Now, lots more questions came up, but we have run out of time. Renee, I'm sure you'll go back, look at the comments, some really great comments. So thank you so much for joining me today and sharing your knowledge. I'm going to probably set a day apart. It's a day aside to go through my own wardrobe.
Yes.
I need to go shopping in my own wardrobe,
yes, exactly.
and have a look at my closet. See, English coming out, wardrobe. Go shopping in my closet and find what's best for me to wear now, in this season. So thank you so much for joining me. One more time, if people want to get to know more about what you do, where you are, how can they do that?
Yes, so I'm on LinkedIn, Renee Lindo. My website is letsgetdressednow.com. And if you'd like to, schedule some time to chat and kind of see if I can help or what kind of questions you have, then there is, in my profile also, there's a quick way to schedule an appointment, some time with me, or send me a message and we can definitely schedule some time. But my website and LinkedIn, I'm very active on LinkedIn as well. So follow me, connect with me, tell me you met me here, and that will be great.
Fantastic. And in closing, if I can be of help with anybody when it comes to their career, especially their career over 40, over 50 is my sweet spot. What next to do in your career? Chat, because just like your clothing evolves, your style evolves, so does the career needs, your values and priorities. So until next time, we'll be back next month. Look forward to having you join us then. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you all.